And just want to go through all these things with you to ask you, what do you think is going on? What's going on? What is going on in this world? Because you remember, all of this is happening right now while all of this is happening right now while our markets are teetering on recession. And recession is defined, technically speaking, as 2 GDP quarters contraction. We haven't had our second GDP quarter come out yet because obviously we're in the month of June. But our first quarter contracted 1.5%. Our GDP contracted 1.5% in the first quarter of this year. So if we get another contraction this second month, then we're technically in a recession. But if you want to go to a broader definition of recession and you want to look at, what other factors actually make up a recession, it's inflation, it's unemployment, it's supply chain disruptions, which we have all of these factors. We have every single factor that causes recession. We have. War doesn't help. So, war actually can actually make your economy boom because you you create so much, military equipment that it does, can cause a temporary economic boom. But we have food shortages. We have supply chain disruptions, both on the demand and the supply side because of China's COVID-0 policy and whatever else what's really going on over there, which we're not knowing. It's not really being reported. So we have all that happening. We have food shortages in this country. We have water shortages in this country. We have, an avian flu that's killing millions of birds and 10,000 cows dying from heat. We have the lowest water and the 2 largest reservoirs in our country in the history ever recorded. We have 10,000 flights canceled in the last 3 days. No one's talking about why and what's happening. We have Southwest pilots protesting their own employer saying we're severely understaffed. This has to stop. It's a difficult time in the world, you guys. It's a difficult time in this world. And I would love to be able to come on here and say everything's going to be fine and everything's going to be done in a month and everything's going to be back to normal. But these are systemic problems that are going to be with us for a while. And we have to keep that in mind. And we need to really think about what is going on here. And all of this in an election year, all this amidst new gun legislation being passed in the Senate, bipartisan legislation being passed in the Senate on gun control legislation in an election year. It's a lot to process. And, as much as everyone might want to disconnect all of these things and act like everything is disjointed and everything is going wrong in every single area of society all at the same time, but none of it's coordinated or consolidated or underlies something that's happening. Come on. We are not that dumb. America is still full of really smart people. They might be busy with their TikTok and their Facebook and their social media, but people are starting to say something is not